Overall, the Game Awards from 2025 was a very solid show. A ton of awards was being given out, most of them being dominated by Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I cannot believe I've not played this game yet. I wanted to. Even before watching game ranks, I've seen gameplay of this game and just the history behind all those people being from Ubisoft. I want to play this game so bad, and I'm honestly ashamed I haven't yet. But beyond the awards, we got amazing performances. We got the return of Miss Piggy. We got the orchestra, and that guy with all the different instruments did an insane job. He was so incredible. And then we also got a performance by Evanescence. They did incredible with that amazing reveal of season 2 of Devil May Cry. And not to mention all the amazing game announcements we got this year. And no, I'm not talking about you, HighGuard. Outside of the spiritual successor of Concord, we got some amazing reveals this year. I mean, we got 2 new Star Wars games. We got 2 new Tomb Raider games. We got the sequel to Control. We got so many awesome games, not to mention Divinity, which was that was the craziest trailer I've ever seen in my entire freaking life. That was brutal. And after watching all that, I really just wanted to make a video on all the game announcements I'm most excited for. So if you want to sit back, relax, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room out of the way. If you've seen my videos in the past, you know I'm a Resident Evil maniac. I love Resident Evil. That is honestly my favorite franchise at this time. I've always played Resident Evil from Resident Evil 4, the original, all the way up to now with the remake that came out a couple years ago. I love Resident Evil so much. So seeing more Resident Evil, is perfect. And of course, we got the confirmation. It was basically confirmed before this, but we finally got new details on Resident Evil Requiem with the reveal of Leon S. Kennedy. And holy crap, he is just so sexy. He is such a good looking man, even though he's older. He is just handsome and ready to kick ass. I love his new jacket. The gloves is a little bit concerning. There's been some things I've been looking into that maybe he's infected with whatever virus is going around, so he's covering up his hands. I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't know if other people were talking about that, but when I saw his gloves on and then I saw him looking at the images of that little infected hand, that's what I thought, especially given the fact that people saw a little bit of infection on his neck. But he was incredible. And from what I can tell, it looks like it's going to split between Grace and Leon, about 50-50. Grace is going to be the true blue survival horror where she's terrified of everything, and it's going to be a lot scarier. And then Leon, his missions are going to be like, hold on your hats, bub. I'm going to kill every single motherfucker in this. And, you know, I'm all for that. It looks incredible. I'm excited to see more about Victor Gideon. He looks really cool. And he kind of looks like a mixture of Wesker on meth with battery acid leaked all over him. And, you know, that's okay. It adds to the scare factor. But I'm really interested to see just how connected he is to Umbrella. Was he connected to Umbrella back in the OG days before they went under? Or is he like a wannabe fan trying to bring back Umbrella because he's obsessed with him? Only time will tell. I would like to think it's the first. I would love to see him connected to Wesker and all the other OGs as well. We'll just have to wait and see. And the cool thing about Leon is he hasn't lost his edge. He's still doing the roundhouse kicks. He is just kicking butt left and right. And he learned some things from Dr. Salvador in Resident Evil 4 because now he's going at them with chainsaws. And, you know, that's awesome. I cannot wait to see more of this. And I'm definitely going to do some more videos down the line talking about this game because that's one of the games I'm most excited for 2026. So stay tuned for that. Next up, let's talk about the big reveal of Larian's new game, Divinity. Now, I don't know if this is Divinity Original Sin 3 or just Divinity. I think it's just called Divinity from what I've been reading up on. I'm fairly new to their catalog. I just now started playing Baldur's Gate 3. Crazy, I know, but I'm having a blast with it. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm very sucked into the world, and it's one of those games literally you can do whatever you want, and that's awesome. I'm here for that. So once I get through Baldur's Gate 3, I'm definitely going to go into the Divinity Original Sin 2. I think that's on PlayStation, and definitely delve into their past games because this cinematic reveal was freaking crazy. This was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. It made Diablo 4's cinematic trailer look like a kid's game. Riker said that, and I completely agree. It was just so brutal. It made me uncomfortable. I had to take my kids out of the room. I was like, "Get out of here! You can't be watching this," because it was that bad. I hate that it leaked beforehand though, because I remember Jeff Keighley and them took a picture of the statue, beautiful statue out in the middle of the desert, and they were just kind of like, "Oh, what's this?" Building up hype. And everyone for days was speculating on what this could be. Is it a new God of War? Is it Elder Scrolls 6? A new Diablo expansion? Which that was my first thought because it looked very demonic. But no, this website accidentally spilled the beans, I will say, that it was Divinity. They did a new trademark. And at least Larian is making jokes about it and just playing fun with it. It was still a huge success. Everyone is freaking out over this. But imagine not knowing until the reveal. It would have been insane. But I'm excited for this after I play Baldur's Gate 3. And then I have a couple other games on my backlog that I want to complete beforehand. But I'm definitely going to give this a shot and play some of their older games because they do such a fantastic job. And I've really been enjoying the turn-based combat. I have a blast with it, and I can't wait to see what they have coming up in the near future. Another huge reveal was Control Resonant, the long-awaited sequel to Control. Remedy just gets it. They know how to really grip us into the stories they're trying to tell. I never played, I wasn't like a hardcore gamer with the Max Payne trilogy. I played them and they're fun, they were really fun. But I didn't really start paying attention to Remedy until Alan Wake came out. I was like a freshman in high school when that came out. It was like 2010 or something. And I loved that game. That was one of the best horror games, one of the best video games I've ever played. Something about Alan Wake, I don't know if it's this voice actor or just the gameplay or the aesthetic of the whole game itself just really gripped me from the very beginning. And Alan Wake 2, times that by 10 and did an even better job. I love the Alan Wake game so much. And I've not played Control yet, but that is the next game on my catalog that I'm going to play after Baldur's Gate 3. And this game looks even crazier than what I've seen of Control. This definitely looks like one of them type games. It's like a sci-fi horror Devil May Cry type game. His abilities, he's able to manipulate different things. I don't really know how to explain it. It's very wonky. It looks awesome. And just to continue where it left off with Control, with the main character being, I think her name's Jessie. Yeah, her name's Jessie, and then Dylan is her brother, to see what's going on. What is up with this family both having powers? That's what I want to know. But I love these type of games. It kind of gives me like a Stranger Things vibe, which I'm a big freak over that as well. And I cannot wait to try this out. I don't know if it said it was coming out next year. I think so. Either that or 2027, but it's going to be really cool to get our hands on that. And then they're doing the Max Payne trilogy remake as well. So that's going to be awesome. Remedy's, they just know what they're doing. I have full trust in them, and I can't wait to see what's next. And man, holy crap, we're not getting just one, but two new Tomb Raider games. Last year, back in 2024, I was in this huge adventure swashbuckling kick where I replayed all I played all the Uncharted games. I didn't replay, I actually played them for the first time, the rebooted Lara Croft trilogy, which I found fantastic. I absolutely love those games. And now they're coming out with two of them, one of them being a true blue, overhauled remake of the first one, it seems. And then the other one being a brand new chapter in Lara's life called Tomb Raider Catalyst. The first one is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, I believe. But they both looked incredible. The gameplay of the overhauled remake looks to be similar to the original game. I don't know 100% sure if they're just doing that to play with our emotions on the trailer, but it looks like you're doing the same flips, the same double gun shooting. She even does the handstand thing where she's jumping and using a handstand to pull herself back up. I really hope it's good. If it is just like the original and they just overhauled it, that's awesome. But if they do something different to make it a little bit more cinematic, I'm fine with that too, as long as it feels right. I have hope that Amazon knows what they're doing because I think they're the ones in control of all this. I really hope they know what they're doing. And Tomb Raider Catalyst looks absolutely incredible too. She's a little bit older. She looks very experienced. She's got this cool rope launcher thing. I'm really excited to see what she's doing with that. And it's just awesome. But I cannot say I'm just a little bit disappointed to find out that they're not using the same actress as the rebooted trilogy. Let's see. What was her name? Camila Luddington, I think. She did a fantastic job. Her voice was spot on for Lara, and she just looked like a young Lara. And maybe that's why they chose a different actor to show that she's like grown up a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. The new actress is Alex Wilton Regan, who had a pretty strong resume. She was in Cyberpunk 2077, Elder Scrolls Online, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, which I've not played, but I hope she does a good job. She looks the part. She looks like Lara. She sounds like Lara. So we'll just have to wait and see. I like that they're using Lara's classic outfit. That looks incredible. The Legacy of Atlantis comes out in 2026, and then Catalyst comes out in 2027. So we're going to have some good eating with the Tomb Raider games. That sounded a little bit weird, but you know what I mean. Next up with some honorable mentions. I don't have any gameplay saved of that Badger game. That game looked absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But Phantom Blade Zero continues to look absolutely incredible. I'm definitely going to get my hands on that. That wasn't like the biggest showcase that I was excited for because I know it's coming out next year. There was just some bigger things that I liked, but it looks incredible. It looks really good. The new Warlock game that's set in the D&D world, that looks like a lot of fun, even though it's just a cinematic. Since playing Baldur's Gate 3 and Stranger Things and trying to delve into the Dungeons and Dragons world, it's going to be fun. Plus, they played one of my favorite Tool songs, so that all automatically like gives it at least 30% likeness to me. So I think that's awesome. The Forest 3 looks freaking crazy. I did not know what that trailer was. I was like, what the hell's going on? This is some weird Lovecraftian story coming out. And then it's like the Forest 3. And I'm like, what in the world? They set the Forest universe in space. And that's crazy. I've never played the Forest games, but I'm definitely going to have to try them out considering this one. If not, I'm just going to play this one. This one looks like a lot of fun. It's very wonky and I'm for it. And of course, Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. It's been long overdue to fight up against Mephisto. He escaped our grasp and Vessel of Hatred, so hopefully we get to kill him for good in this one. Yes, I've already pre-ordered it. Yes, the Paladin is amazing. No shame. I cannot wait to play this game. There's no regrets. Now, the last two games here are set in the same universe as well. I already mentioned them earlier in the video, but the two new Star Wars games that are announced made me feel like a kid again. I mean, it brought me back to childhood roots. It made me feel so happy to see these things. One of them, Star Wars Galactic Racer. I remember being a little kid back in the early 2000s, back when the arcades were in your shopping mall. And I remember bugging my dad. I was like, hey, I got to go in here. And he knew why. And it's because there was a pod racing arcade game where you could sit in the cockpit of Anakin Skywalker's pod and pod race. And it was the funnest thing on the planet. And then they added it to consoles, and I made sure to get it on consoles and pod racing that. Pod racing is such a cool thing. I don't care what anyone says. If you hate it, you're wrong. They're bringing it back into current gen. And I'm so excited for that. The cinematic looked beautiful. I hope the gameplay. Racing games are very high fidelity anyway, so I guarantee it's going to be really pretty. And it doesn't look like it's just going to be pod racing. It looks like they're going to have speeder bikes and land speeders as well. But you're going to be able to traverse through like fallen battlefields. Maybe one being in Jakku, maybe one being in Tatooine. The sky's the limits for this. Maybe they'll add some new planets as well. Maybe Canto Bight or whatever that weird planet was in what was it? The Last Jedi that was in? Yeah. God. But don't even get me started on that, or that'll be like a 20-minute video in itself. It's going to be awesome to race in the Star Wars universe. I think that is a fun, it's not exactly new because it's been done before, but It's not been done in almost 20 years. And I think it's gonna dominate. I think it's fresh. I think players are gonna really dig it as long as they don't do like a cash grab live service thing. And if they do, hopefully they do it the right way. Because it seems like too many companies are trying to do live service games, and I understand they want to make money, but just make it an old school racing game. If you want to add microtransactions, do that, but also there that plays into like maybe getting a pay to win pod racer or something like that, and that worries me. So maybe make it as complete of a package as possible. If you want to do microtransactions, I'll look in, we'll just have to look at it and see. I hope it's good. I'm excited. We'll be able to play it in 2026. And finally,
the big one.
Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. That was the first reveal of the show, and holy crap, what a hard hitter. After watching that, I was just like, is there really going to be anything better than this? And for the most part, no, because this ended up being, other than Resident Evil 9, this ended up being my favorite reveal of the show. Just a new Old Republic game blew my mind. And of course, the director of the original, Casey Hudson, who did Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect and different stuff. Of course, he did that one game that's shutting down now. I can't remember, the Iron Man type game. I won't fault him for that. I kind of blame the company for being forced to do that. But Knights of the Old Republic is one of the best role-playing games ever made. I remember being a kid just carrying around the case and reading the back of it, being like, wow, I can choose what I want. I can be a Jedi or a Sith, or I can just shoot guns. Just being able to go into the Star Wars world that's set hundreds, I can't remember exactly how many years it was before the prequel trilogy, a long time. And it looks like a true successor to Knights of the Old Republic. Hopefully it is. I don't know if it's going to be like considered a part 3 or just like a new thing, but if you noticed, it's not set in the High Republic, which I actually like the High Republic. Knights of the Old Republic in general, it used to not be canon, and now I guess it is. It's going to be really cool to experience that. Casey Hudson is going to do an amazing job. Seeing him being revealed on top of the cinematic almost brought a tear to my eye. I've played so much Knights of the Old Republic to the point, like, when I was a kid, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, this game's the hardest thing in the world. I can't do this. To back in 2018 or 2019, actually spending hours upon hours playing that game. It's beautiful. And now I'm going to have to replay it. I'm going to have to play the sequel, and hopefully we get those remakes too, because I heard they're doing Knights of the Old Republic remake on top of a sequel to that. So only time will tell. We got plenty of time because it looks like they said the least year. The soonest this would come out would be like 2030 is what they said. So we got like 5 years left. But man, it's back. It's back. And hopefully the storytelling is just as good as the original. I really hope, because if they disappoint us, that's going to be terrible. And that's it. Those are my favorite announcements from the Game Awards of 2025. Let me know what you all think of these. What are your all's favorite announcements? Was it the Star Wars games, Tomb Raider, or was it something I didn't mention? Because, of course, like I said, the Badger game, they had a sheep herding game where you're a dog herding sheep, and they had some really cool like Souls-like games that looked really cool. I can't remember the name of that first person one, but it looked awesome as well. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite was. Let me know different type of videos you'd like to see in the future. I got some Resident Evil ones down the pipeline. But until next time, guys, take it easy, bubs.